Namaste everyone, welcome to Millionaire GRE. I am Punit. This is the fourth video on coordinate geometry. If you have not watched the first three ones, please go through it before continuing with this video. In this video, we are going to discuss about equation of a line. Now, equation of a line is generally denoted with the equation y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope of that line and c is the y-intercept of that line. If you do not know what slope and y-intercept are, you can watch the previous videos on coordinate geometry. Y-intercept is essentially the y-coordinate of the point where the line cuts y-axis. So this gives us the equation of a line. Here x and y can be the coordinates of any point that lies on the line. All the points that lie on the line will satisfy the equation. So y and x are the coordinates of any point on that line. Let's understand it through some examples. Y is equal to 2x plus 5. Now this is of the form y is equal to mx plus c. Here m is 2 and c is 5. C is 5 means the line will cut y-axis at 0,5. And m is 2, slope is positive, it means the line is ascending. So the line would look something like this. It's an ascending line passing through 0,5. This is the line y is equal to 2x plus 5. Now any point that lies on the line satisfies this equation. Okay. So if there is any point which lies on this line, for instance x1, y1, you can substitute the point here in the equation. You will get LHS equal to RHS. Okay. All the points which lie on the line will satisfy the equation. So x and y can be the coordinates of any point that lies on the line. Okay. All the points that lie on the line satisfy the equation of that line. Okay. Now this is another line. Y is equal to minus 2x minus 5. We can write this in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. Here m is minus 2 and c is minus 5. You have to take it with the negative sign. Slope is negative, it means the line is descending. C is minus 5, it means the line will cut y-axis at 0, minus 5. Descending line passing through 0, minus 5, the line looks like this. Let's move ahead. Let's talk about y is equal to x. Now let's first write this in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. This can be written as y is equal to 1x plus 0. Here m is 1 and c is 0. C is 0, it means the line will cut y-axis at 0, 0 and slope is positive. M is 1, m is positive. So it's an ascending line. The line looks like this. Okay. This is y is equal to x. And furthermore, y is equal to x means the line or represents the line on which x is always equal to y. If x is 0, y is 0. If x is, let's say, 2, y will be 2. If x is minus 5, y is also minus 5. Y is equal to x represents a line on which y and x are always equal. Also, one more thing, this will pass through the middle of the first quadrant. Hence, this angle would be 45 degrees because this total angle is 90, right? So this angle would be 45 degrees because it will exactly pass through the middle. So there's one thing you have to remember. If slope is 1, then the angle made with the positive direction of x-axis is 45 degrees. If slope is 1, the angle made is 45 degrees. This is something you have to remember. Let's move ahead. Y is equal to minus x. Let's represent this line in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. This can be written as y is equal to minus 1x plus 0. Here slope is minus 1 and c is 0. C is 0 implies that the line will pass through the origin. Slope is minus 1 means it's a descending line. It will look like this. Okay, it will pass through the origin, it will look like this. This is y is equal to minus x. Furthermore, y is equal to minus x represents a line on which y is always the negative of x. If x is 0, y is minus 0. Minus 0 is simply 0. If x is minus 2, y will be negative of minus 2, which is 2. If x is 5, y will be minus 5. Y is equal to minus x represents a line on which y is always the negative of x. It will pass through the middle of the second quadrant. So this angle is 45 and this angle is 135 degrees. So the angle made with the positive direction of x-axis is 135 degrees. You have to remember, if slope is negative, then the angle made with the positive direction of x-axis is 135 degrees. Okay, we just looked at the case where slope was 1. If slope is 1, angle is 45 degrees. If slope is minus 1, angle is 135 degrees. Let's move ahead. Think about this. What will y is equal to 5 line look like? Well, let's write it in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. This can be written as y is equal to 0x plus 5. Here slope is 0 and c is 5. Now slope 0, if you remember from the second coordinate geometry video, slope 0 implies that the line is parallel to x-axis. And c is 5 means that line will cut y-axis at 0, 5. So y is equal to 5 is a line parallel to x-axis cutting y at 0, 5. Okay. Also y is equal to 5 represents a line on which y coordinate is always 5. If you pick any point on this line, this point y coordinate is 5, this point y coordinate is 5, all the points on this line will have y coordinate as 5. Y is equal to 5 means a line on which y is always 5. Similarly, x is equal to minus 5 would mean a line on which x is always minus 5. So if this is minus 5, this is the line x is equal to minus 5, parallel to y-axis. On this line, x coordinate is always minus 5. You pick any point, x coordinate is always minus 5. X is equal to minus 5 represents a line on which x is always minus 5. Now this line cannot be represented in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. Because if you remember, a line parallel to y-axis has slope undefined. How do you represent undefined slope? Hence, how do you write the equation? You cannot write this equation. You cannot write a line or represent a line parallel to y-axis in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. You have to represent it in the form of x is equal to something. You cannot write it in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. All the lines other than the lines parallel to y-axis can be written in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. But a line parallel to y-axis cannot be represented in this form. Now I would want you to pause the screen and give this question a try. I hope you have done so. Now let's solve it together. Here we are given 2 points. We have to find the equation of a line which passes through these 2 points. Equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c. To write the equation, we have to get the value of m, which is the slope, and we have to get the value of c. We need m and c to write the equation. Finding m is easy. Finding slope is easy. You can simply do change in y upon change in x. So 10 minus 4 upon change in x. Change in x is 8 minus 2. So you get 6 upon 6, 1. Slope is 1. So you can sort of write the equation as y is equal to 1x plus c. But you still need to get c. You still need to find what c is. Now in the first slide we had discussed that any point which lies on the line satisfies its equation. This is the equation. Though it's not complete, but it's still the equation. This point lies on the line, so it will satisfy this equation. 2, 4 lies on the line, so it must satisfy the equation. So you can substitute the values of x and y of this point in this equation. So you can put y as 4 and x as 2. You will get the value of c as 2. Now that you have m and c, you can write the equation y is equal to mx plus c. M is 1 and c is 2. So equation is y is equal to simply x plus 2, and that's our answer. Okay, what did we do here? We first found out the slope and then we wrote the equation. And since these 2 points lie on this line, they must satisfy the equation of this line. So you can substitute the coordinates of any 2 points in this equation. I substituted 2, 4. You could have substituted 8, 10 as well. You would have ended up with the same value of c. Once you have m and c, you can write the equation in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. And we get this as the answer. Y is equal to x plus 2 is the equation of this line. I hope this is clear. And with this, we come to the conclusion of this video. In this video, we discussed about equation of a line. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.